Welcome everyone to there's 11 drivers now, but welcome everyone to the sprint race, the second race. Tell everyone at ARL ARL tier 1 and tier 2 the sprint race is up, and just at reserves drivers too, I guess. I believe I have a formation lap if I'm on correct. But we're going to go through the ones to watch. Everyone's getting their setup and everyone's getting what they need. Hopefully no one forgets it. That'd be really bad for them. So, Iron X, about the last race. How did you like the last race? How do you think it went?
Good.
For the first
Ended really well. So I'm interested to see how people will drive to the field from having to reverse the top 8. And I'm interested to see how people who retired last race can do.
2 already disqualified. I want to mention that. Something I want to mention though, people like CRG could not make the second race, Lyrical Lou, and it was TTV Breezy who just left. They couldn't make the second race. Yeah. But there are people here who are favorites to watch who were fast last race. Riles was fast. 6X Hellcat. Arsenal, just being on pole, who knows what he could do. Dex Fan is a one to watch. And also I want to mention another one to watch. I think Rapid Extreme being back there is another one to watch. I'm going to go through in order the ones to watch. Me and Iron will go back and forth. Arsenal's on pole position. He may have not really done a lot last race, but his drive-through, the pace he showed staying with some of the guys who were up front kind of helped his momentum possibly to help him just stay up front or whatever and maybe be a better driver. Maybe that's something that could help him or whatever for this type of stuff or whatever to maybe get himself on the podium. Dex Fan in second. Iron.
Yes, sir. Dex Fan. Tough race off of penalties last race. I want to see he can really do some damage if he's he could probably win if he can get off the line really well and maintain.
Someone I want to mention who was fast last race, 6X Hellcat. He got disqualified from the formation lap, but he was there. He was fast. He did everything he could, and he just got taken out by Breezy. Riles, I want to mention him. Riles won the last race. Can he charge to the field from 5th? It shows 7th, but still. And Rapid Extreme there, Iron. Talk about him.
Rapid Extreme, unfortunate end for race 1. He has He's capable of driving through this field. He's capable. We saw it in qualifying. It's just he has to execute it perfectly here. Make sure no damage.
He can't have no mistakes. He can't have no mistakes. That's what a lot of these guys have, and that's what a lot of these guys need. The lights are going out here in America. Holding the brakes. We have a delay, apparently.
Always.
Is that a boarded start or something? Well, a big delay we're having. Breezy's obviously not in his grid spot, but what's going on here? Are we just stuck? I think we're just stuck. Well, I'm not stuck, but like, I think the revs are stuck and everything else is stuck. I swear to God, if I have to do this again, man. Why is it like this? Mafia is the one with load. Alright, if you guys could just tell Mafia to like quit out the game because he's like loading or whatever, that could work. But he should be able to join back though. Since he's on the grid, he should be able to join back. If he isn't, I don't know what to say. He'll still be counted on the points sheet, but he won't get points then. Tell him to like leave and join back or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow, this game. This game itself. What the hell?
Game really do stink sometimes.
This game, Codemasters, you're really great. That's all I gotta say because it just what the hell? Alright, Mafia's left the session, but lights out for the start. Mafia's car is going, but we're not going to worry about that. That's an AI car. We're
Yeah.
not going to worry about that too much. But here we go for the start. Arsenal leading the Alfa Romeo of Dexfan. Dexfan going down the inside. And there's contact in the back of the pack. It's a McLaren who has spun these guys around. I think that's Thrasher who was damaged. And Thrasher can't get off of CJ Pants. And CJ Pants is nearly going to spin. Dark Raptor's around in the back. But heading through the midfield. Obviously, Mafia's car. Invite him back, Iron X. Invite him back. The AI is on 55, so it's not too effective. These guys have really got to work together to catch them, though. If they really want the chance there. Because when Mafia does run back, he may be in the lead. Which may be glitch, but, like, because of that, that was, like, 3 seconds. So, obviously,
I
think what the fair thing...
I
think what the fair thing to
give him
do...
a 3-second penalty.
I think that would be the fair thing to do. So he's fair with the... So it's fair with the pack. Mafia's going back.
He's back in the lobby.
So, that's the thing. If he does get, like, a 3-second time penalty, it's not really going to affect him much. Even if it's, like, 2 or 3, whatever we choose, I think it'll be fine. It won't really affect him too much at all. But he's still an AI, so it's really going to screw him right now.
Alpha's 2 and 3 at the moment.
Your drivers are running
Very
good.
close.
McLaren's
Yes,
running close to each other. Racing Point only has 1 driver here today. But Williams have 2. I don't think Mafia's back in his car or letting him get back in his car. But
yet,
6 is Hellcat is coming, and he runs in the back of Dexfan. I don't know if he meant that, but he was trying to maybe give him a boost or whatever to catch up on
Yeah,
Mafia.
Mafia still got the X on his
Yeah, he does.
Hellcat down the
Thrasher's got
inside
a
of
10-second
Dexfan.
time. That's the second time Thrasher's got a BS penalty for that. I think that needs to be taken away. But they're passing Mafia now, and I think this is fair to keep him there instead of just a time penalty. If they didn't catch him and he went right back, I think that'd be fair.
I'm not sure if Mafia's in his car or
Mafia,
not.
Mafia is now.
He's letting
Mafia is
everybody
now.
by. He's letting everybody
That's smart. That's smart. That's a respectful move. All right, and he's just gonna go from 8th. That's where he kind of was anyway, or would have been.
That's
so
where he probably
completely
would have
fine.
been off of.
Because there was crashes
a
like
lap
with
1
Dark Raptor.
chaos.
Yeah, with turn 1, because someone died.
So we
with
won't
turn
give
1.
him any penalty. He's gonna go from 8th. That's smart by him.
That was smart by
Respectable.
him to avoid a penalty. That was smart. That's what you call a smart racing driver. But here comes CXX Hellcat on Dexfan down the inside. These two battling for the race lead. These two going wheel to wheel. And these two very close with each other. And Dexfan is not going to get the advantage, but will he dive it down back? No, he won't. He's pulled a big enough gap to Arsenal, but Riles also caught up to them.
Riles is P4. He
I
is
don't see the yellow flag.
already up 4 positions.
Yeah, let's just look at the position change. 3 positions for Rapid, 4 positions
3
for Mafia.
positions.
And that's CJ Pants out.
CJ Pants is out.
Let's check where that is. I think that's toward... Oh god, the hairpin type area.
That's at the end of the straightaway, DRS
Riles has
straight.
passed Arsenal. So, Riles, that is critical if Dexfan does try to battle CXX and gets in within DRS range of him on this 3rd lap or whatever, if he does stay within it. Or just say Dexfan doesn't battle Riles as much compared to his teammate. Riles does get the fastest lap there on the 2nd lap of the race. I've not even had game volume this whole time. I don't know why.
Wow.
I've not even focused on it. I literally like unmuted my TV just randomly now. Yeah, I'll probably do 5-lap races later in public lobbies, but not at the moment. But look at this 4-car train. Mafia's in it, and there's Davis and Trevi getting penalties through the
That's a
S's.
lot of 3 seconds.
That is a lot of 3 seconds, and that's really going to come into play later on in the race. No one has a penalty to serve besides maybe a probation that they have, like Arsenal, and I think it was Dark Raptor who had a probation, I believe. Dark Raptor, if I'm correct, had the probation from tier 1. It was 1 race. This is the race that he has it. But these guys are trying to get by Arsenal. Davis spins him around, and that he goes in the barrier. Arsenal just a little bit unlucky there, but he's got to be careful pulling out. He's not going to pull out in front of anyone, but Riles getting the advantage there on Dexfan. And Rapid
Guess who's
unlocked
gained the
Trevi.
most out of that?
Rapid, wasn't he?
Mr. Rapid Extreme. Around the outside of Trevi. Good move right
And
there.
that is for position 7. So that's 6 positions gained. So good job by Rapid. He's really charged his way through the field. Can he go catch Riles or Dexfan?
We'll see.
I'll be honest.
He's got
I'll be
the
honest
pace.
this season, by the looks of it, I think CSX, Hellcat, Riles, and Silent will be the big 3 this season. Rapid will be like the outlier. That's just my opinion.
Rapid,
I think you can slightly
it
agree.
depends on the track for him most of the time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Good tracks, he's very fast.
Davis cut the corner
Others-
there. That was a warning there, probably from the game. 6-6 Hellcat got the fastest lap, though, and takes it back away from Riles.
Riles on
4th lap
Dexfan.
of the race. And we've yet to have a VSC this race from the new update. That is impressive.
Riles,
I know the first
round the
lap we should
outside.
have. I apologize for not focusing on that, but getting by him was critical, and these two are going to go battle it out. It didn't take long for Riles or C6 Hellcat to get up there, but what also helped DexFan is starting second with that advantage there. That helps him stay in a podium position. If Rapid catches him, but then DexFan starts pulling away after he's known he got pressure on him, I think that will help. And these two Williams battling near each other with the Toro Rosso of Davis. Them going side by side
You
in an
also have
area
to
they probably
remember
shouldn't be.
penalties. Obviously, once people start to rack them up by pushing too hard or sticking
think about
behind
this,
someone
though.
too long.
I want you to think about this though. Penalties are a big factor in races, right? Well, you know what's also
Yeah.
a big factor? Mistakes or whatever. Rapid is a guy who I feel like makes mistakes or whatever. That's why he's not catching as much with DexFan, Lord Kvyat. But Davis on King Mafia there. Mafia close running in the back of him. Davis kind of sped up just in case. But no, obviously with these reverse grid races, I feel like what's going to help the most, I think, is drivers who are patient. Riles and C6 Hellcat are patient drivers. Trevi, he's a patient driver. I'm not saying like some of these guys aren't, but most of the tier 2 guys are not patient drivers or whatever that I noticed.
Yeah,
or whatever.
they go
Most
for the
of guys in
move
team
once
chart.
they see the opportunity.
Exactly. You see a hole there. It's like Fizzers from Tier 1 last week when he made the move on TSR Norris. He was desperate to get by. He was stuck behind him for 2 laps. He couldn't get by because of the dirty air and the stuff that just happened with him. You know what he did? He dove down the inside where Albin took out Lewis, and right there, that's what caused a penalty to be given. But Mafia going down the inside of Davis. This is 4th position. These two keeping it very clean, but Davis running off the racetrack. DexFan is staying with Riles, which is I find very impressive. I don't know if Riles is making mistakes.
I think
but
they're
Davis
in a party
did pick up the
together.
penalty.
Davis let Mafia by.
Yeah,
going
I think
into
that was
the
smart. So Mafia could
S's.
go challenge Trevi, and these two don't battle it out. That may be smart by these guys. Not really team
Davis
orders
is probably
or
gonna try to
like
stick
anything
with
like that.
them.
But if they could just
Smart
stick together
racing.
and work together by just catching someone, and they could battle each other after that. That's what I think they're doing. DexFan low in ERS, so is Riles. And obviously you're going to see a lot of people low in ERS, but you know what surprises me the most? Rapid out of everyone. Rapid and Arsenal and Thrasher have the best ERS, but out of that big pack, that's Rapid up there who has the best ERS. That could play into factor in the later in the race. If he just saves it. But the sprint race is going by quick. That's all I gotta say. Like, the virtual
But
safety
yeah,
car
we
and
didn't
the
have a
safety
safety
car.
car, so.
I know. That's why I feel like the first race is going to be much tougher because people qualified in the positions they did. Obviously, in the races, the sprint races, this is going to be like the shorter race in a way. It still might not seem like it, but it's going to be like 4 minutes shorter because of the safety cars and virtual safety cars. I feel like the sprint races won't have as much as DexFan getting a penalty through turn 19. I feel like we won't have as much as Mafia and Trevi trading positions, but I feel like we won't have as much safety cars or virtuals in the second race from what it seems like.
Yeah,
I
for
feel like
sure.
just by then, I feel like it's more calmed out and it was more smooth here. We would be sitting on lap 4 or lap 3 right now.
People have
by the
also
safety car.
driven the track a lot more, and they've gotten used to it. So there, you
Mafia
might
down
also
the
see
inside,
a few less
driving
penalties.
wide. Trevi taking advantage. These two making contact. These two have history, and Trevi's been put off the track. That's not too nice from these two teammates. I'll tell you that. That's better than DexFan and Hellcat nearly crashing. But look who's caught up here. 4 podium position. Rapid deserves a round of applause after that hard first race on him. I know before he's got a lot of hate from people or whatever in the past in league racing, but I think he's matured around that and he's got a better reputation from it, and he's really learned a lot. But Rapid and Lord Kvyat here do have history, so we're gonna watch these two go wheel to wheel down the back straight and down the DRS straight. Rapid does have DRS, but is Lord Kvyat gonna dive it back? No, he's not.
No,
He's
I
been
think's better.
Lord Kvyat's
Rapid
been
goes
more
in way
patient
deep.
here. Lord Kvyat's been more patient here. 5 months ago, when I raced with him, he was one of the most impatient drivers ever. I'm being honest. He was one of the most impatient drivers ever. He would not give room. He would just race you aggressive. He would be like another version of like Mochi, I guess you could say. Like, just race you aggressive,
Yeah.
but like piss you, but to the point
Who
that
has also
pisses you
gotten
off.
better since then.
Oh yeah, definitely. She's got faster. And the thing is, with them,
Riles
It's
dashed
like-
it in.
it's like with, oh yeah, interesting. This is interesting. Now, obviously, in the sprint race, you have to pit, but obviously, look at this. I mean, Riles is the first one. Thrasher was one of the first ones too, but this is going to be interesting. Rapid up to second now. If Rapid could just pull a big gap or whatever here, how much is he going to catch Hellcat? That's my question. And who is looking to sign Hellcat? What team is going to be the first one to say, hey, that's my driver right there?
Yeah, what team needs him?
What team needs him the most? What team, as Dex fan, I just watched him get a penalty just by going over the curb just slightly. I want to mention, what team is the critical part that needs him? Renault had no drivers that showed up today. Ferrari had Kaya, who got literally like race banned after this race. But technically, he technically got race banned before even a penalty was giving out, because he was on probation and stuff like that. He may not even come back next race or whatever. He may be back in Austria. Canada's the next race for these guys. Canada, watch how that reverse grid race will be. This is a track where DRS matters, at least in the back straight. The front straight's not as effective because of how long the straight is and how it is. It might not be as effective, but that front straight is down for passing for turn 1. Canada, all the DRS zones are down for passing except for the little chicane before the hairpin. That is the only problem with what people are going to have next week. People are going to push it, and people are just going to mess up there by trying to pass and not give room. That's what I'm going to fear in the sprint race. I think there'll be more virtual safety cars by just that. Hellcat's in. Is Rapid in? No, he's staying out.
Rapid stays.
Stays. Mafia. Let's look at him. It might not be as an interesting race or whatever altogether,
Stays as well.
but it's better kind of like. It's probably better than what the first race. Yeah, it is cleaner, but it's also better than what the first race would have been without safety cars and virtuals. It's better than what it would have been. I feel like we've had battles here, but Trevi is coming here on Hellcat, and Riles has passed Davis, who's pitting. Look at how Riles is behind Hellcat here. They have a decent gap, but I think the undercut, or actually the overcut for Hellcat worked way more than the undercut did for Riles. And if anything, I know they had such a big gap and Riles was coming through the field, but in regardless, that undercut, who knows? I can't really have anybody be both tiers because like that'll affect stuff. But I can, if they are a reserve, I can have them be both tiers as a reserve. So I'm just gonna.
You can have them race both the tiers. So
as reserves, yeah. Iron, you have your audio included, correct? Just making sure.
Yeah, I do.
All right, just make sure because I know it glitches sometimes. Riles on Trevi. I think Riles is going to get the room from Trevi here. I don't think Trevi's going to battle him too much. But Trevi does not want to lose out to Dark Raptor. Yeah, Trevi lets him by there. You know, the thing is, Trevi does not also want to lose out to Dark Raptor, who could be gaining on him in any moment. Rapid Extreme is controlling this race, and the gap between these guys, 10 seconds, 14 seconds between Rapid and Hellcat and these guys. A pit stop here is 22 seconds. So Rapid may be back toward Dark Raptor and Arsenal between them. Yeah, Iron X, whenever you have a chance, Atlantis wants you to look at Discord. Yellow flag somewhere.
Sure. I'll look at that now.
That's
Rapid
Thrasher
pits.
Going off. And reversing?
Rapid pits.
Okay.
Dex fan pits.
Oh, he's
Mafia
retired.
pits. So.
Alright, Thrasher's retired in a safe position. So that's good. That is the way to retire. There's been a new retiring procedure from drivers. They've learned. Riles coming out of the pits. He's going to have a chance to be ahead of Rapid. But did Rapid undercut him? Who did Rapid undercut, though? That's the thing. Did he undercut DexFan? Because DexFan's coming out now, and he did undercut DexFan, who looks to be slightly ahead. Mafia pitting. Arsenal coming out. Arsenal's the only one yet to pit. I'm just surprised or whatever that last race had the biggest gap. With all the battles for the lead, all the battles for the win, all the competitive drivers against each other had the battles to the point where off of penalties, it was 10 seconds. Off of penalties in Brazil, one penalty helped create that finish. The penalties, it could have been oh, Davis is DNF. What's happened to him? Oh, he's off there. Ooh. Not a good second race for him, but everyone who's still running is going to get points at this point. Virtual safety car. That's our first. This is really going to slow down the field. Riles has got to take advantage.
This helps. No, it really doesn't help anybody out here.
No. I think the only person closest it helps is Mafia and Arsenal from battling each other. I think that's the only thing that really helps. Because Arsenal's going to dive in the pits to slap. It depends when this VSC ends. That's what I think is going to depend on it most with Mafia and Arsenal. And DexFan could run away from Mafia here, actually, if anybody can run away from each other. And Riles actually may catch up to Hellcat here. Are these two going to battle it out if they do catch up? This is our third virtual safety car in the league. We've had our first safety car today. So yeah, we've had a virtual safety car in a race. We've had a safety car in the race. What do you expect tomorrow, Iron X? It's just the beginning. This many drivers.
I'm expecting a virtual. Probably not as much as we saw in GSR Tier 2 and the feature. But I do expect to see something for lap 1.
Oh yeah, I expect to see at least 2 virtual safety cars.
I do want to tell you, there's another league that I'm in that no one else is really in here. It's one I run with William Wassel.
Yes, Race Spec, isn't it?
Race Spec, yeah. They actually just announced last night they're turning off virtual safety car until further notice in all the races.
Oh, interesting. You know, I honestly, if my opinion, I'm just gonna give my own opinion on that, just because you said that, and I think that brings up a great point. As Dex fan and Rapid would be battling for the podium here, but they've got to focus on penalties. And Rouse with this virtual safety car, he was 4 seconds back from Hellcat. He's 2 now.
Yeah, that lap undercut, and he's really put his head down, and he's really caught up to Hellcat.
It looks like Hellcat, honestly, at first overcut, but once that undercut started to come out or whatever, it looked like Rouse overcut at first or whatever, or no, I'm sorry, I'm messing this up. Hellcat undercut at first. That's what it looked like. He got so far ahead or whatever from just that 1 lap difference or whatever. It looked like that they were getting ahead. I wasn't really noticing Rouse and just Hellcat between each other. Their gap difference honestly really helped or whatever in this race or whatever. There's not been really many incidents in this race besides Thrasher and CJ Pants. Thrasher and CJ Pants had an incident. Davis and Arsenal had an incident. But all of them were at the start. Not really many have been through the race. 8 drivers here have a chance at scoring points. Les Trevi, you know, he could be really high up in points. Rapid, 3-second time penalty. Points are going to be done right after this race. Driver of the day voting will be done right after this race. Expect everything in the Discord to be done after this race. Trust me, 4 GSR will happen. I think 145 was that good time or whatever that you said for the Academy, I think, because if we just start this early and we don't have that, because think about it, we had that 5-minute delay, Iron, and think about it, like 5 minutes right before we can go right to JSC or whatever with our Academy. Yeah, we're going to be going against. So it's actually a good time that you did that.
We had a 5-minute delay, yeah. Plus, if we don't have as many safety cars in the first race,
think about it, we had a 2-minute
like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we had a 2-minute delay because of Mafia too. So think about it.
Yeah.
We could be sitting at 130, 125 right now with this time, if we just balance it out. But Rouse is still staying with 6 Hellcat a decent amount right now.
I think that'll work out well.
No, it should work out well.
Many of our drivers here are racing along with P&B. He's racing against the Academy, so
yeah, just the Academy.
Next Saturday.
I'm kind of also at the same time not allowed to race against the regular
main
boys.
Team,
yeah, it's because of TSR. That's kind of why I was just in the Academy anyways. So I mean, obviously the academies are where like the tier 2 drivers kind of go, like people like Riles, and there's who else was in here, Silent or whatever. They're in the Academy
Silent
or whatever.
Silent is going to be racing. Rapid's a reserve. He's the first reserve, I believe.
Here comes Mafia and Dark Raptor and Trevi. Mafia around the outside. Can he make it done? Dark Raptor getting a penalty, but Mafia passes Lord Kvyat very easily, and he's on a challenge for Rapid now. But will the penalties really affect X-Fan to the point where Trevi gets the advantage out of it?
I also want to say you called it. Dark Raptor caught Trevi. You said it early in the race. Trevi has to be careful.
Yeah, he did, and he had to be careful around Mafia. I even said it from the last race. People got to be careful not to be around other people, because when you get stuck around one person, it's like I'm sorry for making fun of this on stream, but I'm just being honest. It's like a virus, okay? It's just like a virus that keeps affecting itself, you know? Because like, if you saw Mafia caught Trevi there, Davis let Mafia go basically and didn't battle him as much. You see what that's done to Mafia. Mafia didn't get held up there. The virus didn't catch him. Trevi, he got held up there a little bit by his teammate or whatever, Mafia, and he got off track a few times. That was the virus for Trevi to have Dark Raptor catch him. And now Trevi's under pressure.
I just want to say something.
Go ahead.
Penalties. Hellcat 2 warnings, Riles 2 warnings. This race could be decided if
Oh,
either of them
definitely.
screw up with 2 to go. The pressure's on.
And the pressure is on. If Riles can stay within 3 seconds no matter what, which he has done, but he's also lost time
Yes.
compared to earlier. Hellcat's taking this somewhat easy. Riles, not messing up at all. Riles is taking it very smoothly.
Riles is one of the smoothest controller players I know.
F1 driver is saying the race is...
F1
I want to
drivers.
mention some. The race is kind of boring. The feature was good, but this is just bad. I'll be honest, like, it's an okay... Oh,
Yes.
Trevi in a Dark Raptor! That's around! And that's Dark Raptor spinning. Trevi, that's like the first incident I've seen Trevi involved in an F1 like that. Like, at least I was like, not even trying to like mess around, I guess.
Arsenal just got disqualified.
Oh God, from too many
That
penalties.
moves
Now that puts
Davis to
Davis in
8
the
for
points. Yeah, Toro
Yeah.
Rosso. There we go. All right, something I want to mention though. I know you mentioned like F1 driver. I know you're watching. The race has been kind of boring. If you look at it, not really like a certain way. If you catch Riles and Hellcat, this could easily be decided off of penalties. The gaps these guys are going against each other. DexFan had a pop-up battle with Mafia or whatever. Mafia battle with people. We might have pop-up battles, but the thing is like with the sprint race. Stupid penalties, he says. Hellcat taking the final lap though. But thing is, like, we've had pop-up battles, but they last for longer than 2 corners, like every other F1 battle that lasted in 2018. Do you know how they put the F1 battles on like the YouTube channel, like the top 10 battles of 2018
Yes.
or whatever? Most of them are two or three corner battles. The top 5 this year were literally like good battles or whatever. That happened. Hellcat nearly lost it there, and that could have easily costed him something that he could lose later. Because Riles is catching him. This is going to be interesting to see if any of them get a penalty.
Yeah, one of them could
Dark
push
Raptor.
just that slight bit too hard.
Obviously, Hellcat's been consistent these last 4 laps. But Riles, I'm checking his times. He's been consistent in the last 4 laps. But even before that, he had one
1.3
good lap.
seconds.
This is close. Even if it's just for the win. Even if they get into ERS range. Riles is using all of his ERS. So is Hellcat. But Dark Raptor catching Trevi. This has been a good battle between these two. I don't consider a good race always from good battles. Trevi with a penalty. That could affect that battle. I don't always consider a good race considered based off of good battles. Like a good race.
Just remember, this race could be so much more different if Riles pit 1 lap earlier. Hellcat responds 1 lap later. Riles would be in front.
Hellcat. He got denied in the first race. He had the chance at Breezy. He had the chance to win. He came back for second, but obviously not having in as much points this race, he's gonna have not an advantage in the point standings, but he's gonna come on to win here in America. Hellcat,
Good race.
the first Denmark driver from that type of area to win. Riles, an American who's won today, an American team from Racing Point, an American owner. Rapid's gonna come to the line in a 3rd position. We watched out for him for a while. Mafia, what's he gonna do? He's not gonna beat him. Whoa.
Oh
he's way
my
behind.
gosh.
Wow.
I think he's gonna
Have the glitch.
Yeah.
Dex fan passes him. Yeah, that's a glitch. Oh, Dark Raptor and
There's
Trevi
no way
going wheel
he
to
got
wheel
1
now.
minute.
This is the battle for the last corner between 6th place. Dark Raptor crossing him back over, but hitting the back of him and to the line. Trevi's gonna beat him on track, but Dark Raptor goes way up. All right, something I want to
Dark
mention
Raptor
though.
got 5th. Dark Raptor got 5th.
That's gonna be Trevi. That's at least gonna give him a 6th though, because of Mafia. What happened to
Yeah,
Mafia? We'll have to-
I don't believe
please
he got
go to
1
Race
minute
Director.
of penalties.
Yeah, please go to Race Director and check where
Yeah.
TV at and his penalties. As you know, you're not a biased team owner. You need to be fair about that. You know.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Race
just the way it
Director
goes.
Dexfin had 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 second penalties. And Mafia only had 2 warnings the whole race, so I don't know why he has an hour.
So Mafia would finish up. Wait, hold up. Check Rapid with him. Check Rapid. No Rapid. had a few.
Rapid only had 3 seconds, and Mafia was 5 seconds back.
Yeah, Mafia would have 4th right there. Mafia's
Mafia
getting
has
back 4th
4th.
because that's so unfair. That was probably because of his start. That's probably why it did that.
Yeah.
I understand why the game kind of did that, but at the same time, it's like, what the hell? Alright, I want to just very interesting. The top 3, look where they started. 6th, 7th, and 10th. And that is the closest margin of victory, too. Today,
1.1.
we had in the league. We had the closest margin today in the league for the win. We had the largest margin today. Wow. What a day this has been, or whatever. I know the safety cars, the virtual safety car. If anything, I think the virtual safety car helped provide the battle we saw between Riles and Hellcat. You know, there were some good battles in the sprint race, but the feature race, it was like back and forth. The feature race may have been better, but the sprint race wasn't too far behind, in my own opinion. If you think about it, if you go and look back, the sprint race there, the sprint race, it was a decent race. It was a race with a decent amount of battles. It was a race with drivers going back and forth between each other. It was the race of who knows what could happen with catching each other and going back and forth. Like Riles started catching Hellcat. Who knows? Mafia and Lord Kvyat started catching each other. Rapid started catching up to the field. Between the pit stops, there was battles. Trevi and Dark Raptor. That's the thing. There were people going back and forth. Kind of. But it wasn't like the feature race where it was like battles all over. I will be posting in tier 2 results, the results of the races. Expect anything from that. I want to talk to Hellcat. I want to see if he's on Discord. Yeah. I want to talk to him. Or actually in the party. He's a reserve driver and he gone on to win today. He had the pace of Riles. So that was
There's
good.
no way he doesn't get promoted to a seat.
Oh yeah, no. No, if you don't promote him, you're not thinking. That's as simple as that. That's just being honest. You're not thinking if you're not promoting Hellcat. I don't think he accepted the call, but what I'm gonna do is I'm inviting him to the party. Yeah, I'm gonna invite him to the party, see what he has to say. I'm only gonna talk to the winner for interviews, probably. Yes, I did call. Yes. Yes, for interviews. But no, I'll be honest. I honestly think like that sprint race was better than what the feature race would have been without the safety cars and virtuals. You gotta agree on that a little bit, Iron. At least a little bit.
Yeah. With
the way that feature race could have gone with how chaotic. I understand the chaoticness, but like with the safety car, it helped the race be better. But coming back from 6th there for Hellcat, that was impressive somewhat. I didn't expect that. And by the way, you know who deserves Driver of the Day the most, I think, right now? Rapid Extreme. He did not really have the run in the first race, but he had the pace to be up there in the first race, and he didn't.
Yeah, Rapid impressed me in that second race. Starting pretty much
Maybe
last.
Maybe he turned on the racing line. Maybe he turned on the racing line. I mean, yeah, started last out of the drivers who... He started like second to last out of the drivers who basically, you know, had the chance or whatever to who raced in the first race. I'm gonna try to get CX Hellcat. He said his English is bad, which is fine. Just don't like make fun of him for it. I mean, I'll joke around with him obviously because I have before, but yeah. All right, well, can I just call or invite to party? But no, obviously next week in Canada. I know Canada's like a boring track, but with these tier 2 drivers, with how their pace could be around Canada, Canada is such a close track and time trial. That's what could bring the drivers closer to each other this next race in Canada. That's what could be good racing. All right, I'm invited to the party. Yeah, I invited Hellcat. I'm gonna see if he does join. He does join.
He joined. Yeah.
All right, Hellcat, make sure you include your audio and keep it PG. I think you had fun out there. Besides the first race, you got taken out by Breezy. You didn't have the best of luck in that first race, but you were able to keep up pace with Riles. Riles was starting to catch you after the virtual safety car. Did that virtual safety car almost end your race, you would say? Make sure you include your audio. I've got to ask you, how are you like in tier 2, and do you think any team will hire you? I think that's an obvious question. Do you think any team will hire you? And if so, what team do you think will hire you? What team do you think needs a driver the most? That you think, based off of today? We'll
Yeah,
have to see, man,
Ferrari,
because
Renault,
that was really good.
they had missing
Ferrari and
drivers
Renault are big
today.
names. Williams, the second drive, because you guys said you guys can't hear him. Hellcat, do you have your audio included in the party, like for the stream? You just like make sure you do. All right. Though, you battle with Riles or whatever, and that first race, the feature race. Did you think it would have gone as smooth as it did or whatever? If it weren't for the virtual safety cars, those safety cars, do you think it would have gone smoother with you and guys, you and Riles? Do you think the safety cars and the virtual safety cars had helped out the racing or whatever at all? From today, had helped provided the racing better? Alright, next, do you have any questions for Hellcat?
No, you pretty much asked all of them. I would like to congratulate you on the win in the feature and a good recovery drive in the, or sorry, a win in the sprint, good recovery drive in the feature race. So,
Oh, yeah.
hopefully you get picked up by a team, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think you will get picked up by a team, any team. I think any team that really wants someone is Renault, but the team leader is being a little bit inactive. But we'll see what he has to say. We'll see what he has to do. I think he's really more focused on his tier 1 team because they're low in the constructors. But we'll have to see how that goes. Point standings will be done right after this race, so obviously catch them right there. You should be second in points, Hellcat. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't be because of the first race. The first race counted a lot more than the second one, at least with the stuff. I want to mention with penalties or whatever, Mafia got put down to like 8th there or 7th. Mafia is going to be changed back up to 4th. I will have that on the results. That'll be changed. That's nothing to worry about. Mafia's up to 4th. He's fine. That I understand. But no, thank you guys for watching the stream. Make sure you do catch us tomorrow because that will be the tier 1 race. I think you would expect more safety cars or virtuals. Who knows? Obviously, this game has been more sensitive with it. But
Yeah.
obviously, another league that you were talking about, Iron, had switched off their virtual safety cars and safety cars for now. I wonder how that will go. I think this. I'll be honest with you, Iron. Do you think the safety cars and the virtual safety cars helped the first race be better a lot than what it would have?
It made the field closer midway through the race, so that's probably why people found it more interesting to watch. But it also meant there was a lot more chaos. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a balancing act.
I also kind of found at the same time the sprint race slightly closer to it than a lot of people would have put, because if you technically think about it, if you're on a technical position about it, you're thinking, all right, here, well, look at the people who caught each other. It was interesting because there was a lot of mistakes. Hellcat made a mistake in the last lap. You made a mistake in the last lap in the S's getting slightly sideways or whatever. That cost you a 10th or 2. And who knows, maybe if you've got a penalty, that could have maybe put the race very interesting or whatever, and in your hands of possibly controlling or whatever. Who knows? There was just a lot of factors in that second race or whatever that I found very interesting. Not as much chaos besides the start, Davis and Arsenal taking each other out, and obviously Trevi and Dark Raptor taking each other out. But tier 1 tomorrow is going to be good. I think the virtual safety cars and safety cars are
For
good,
sure.
but are a good help at least. But all I gotta say is, like, make sure you know how to drive on the first lap. Make sure you know how to drive on the second lap of the race, or the virtual safety cars and the safety cars. Because if you're not knowing how to drive there, it's gonna ruin the racing. Because if people get damaged from that, you don't know who knows. All right, that's Iron X and PMB. That's us. That's us commentators. You will see PMB, me, and Milo Gaming tomorrow on the tier 1 stream. We will see you then. Thanks for tuning in, guys.